Good morning, everybody. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Can everybody see that start screen?
Yes.
Fantastic. We'll go just another minute or two, and then we'll get started. All right, I want to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. We're going to talk a little bit today about the Rule 3 fee update process that we have going on for building codes and standards in the Division of Housing for factory-built structures. Hopefully, that's the meeting that you are wanting to attend. Everybody should be able to see my screen. We are recording this meeting, and we will get it posted on the website as soon as we can for those that may not have been able to join us today. And we're going to talk about several things here today. One, why the need to raise fees, the statutory requirement for the TAC and the State Housing Board in preparation of raising fees, the fee increase process that we've gone through so far and that we will be continuing. The financials, going to give you a quick little snapshot of where we are and why we need to raise fees. We'll talk a little bit about the recommended fees and then the rulemaking for fee increase, and then we should have some time for discussion. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand or put your message down in the chat. Donnie and Michelle are going to be both monitoring that, and will virtually tap me or interrupt me and let me know that there's a question that needs to be addressed. An introduction for myself: I'm Sam Albrecht. I'm the Director of the Office of Regulatory Oversight. With me, I've got Donnie Featherman, who's the Program Manager for Building Codes and Standards, and Michelle Goulet, who is the Communication and Community Outreach Person for the Mobile Home Park Oversight Program, as well as we borrow her very often for building codes and standards. Why raise fees? We are a cash-funded program. What that means is that we must raise our revenue to cover our expenses, and we raise revenue, or we have revenue coming in based on a number of different fees and the administrative rules for the program. It's rule number 3. We'll talk a little bit about that. If we do not have our enough revenue in order to cover our expenses, then we go under extra scrutiny from the state. So for the last couple of years, we've had an excess reserve, which that means is that we've been running in the red, but we had reserves in order to pay for it. we knew this year that we would have to raise fees. We're looking at a target date of 7/31 or August 1st to actually implement those new fees. And as you know, we're on the state fiscal year, which runs July 1st through through June 30th. Our reserve was expended approximately in January. So we are now kind of really taking a look at how we're going to end the year. But that's not what we are here to address. In order to remain solvent for the next fiscal year, we've got to raise fees to cover the next fiscal year, which is, like I said, July 25 through June 26th. But because of the timing, we're actually going to not start those fee increases till 7/31. We have a statutory requirement for the State Housing Board. They are the authority that can raise fees. We, as a program in statute, provide the board a list of other fees from local jurisdictions and other states that have similar programs. It gets a little, as most of you know, it's a little different, almost apples and oranges when you're talking about fees at the local level, city, county, and towns, because they do more along the lines of permit fees that cover other things, including the plan reviews. Sometimes plan reviews are extra, and then all the actual construction inspections. But we do provide a list. We will provide a list to the State Housing Board, and we provided one to the Technical Advisory Committee and for the comparison from Colorado local governments. And then we also looked at 10 other states, what their factory built structure fees were, to make sure we were in alignment and not too far off with what they do. So the fee increase process has started in December and January before the long bill, which is the state budget bill, was introduced. The governor's office was briefed on the need to increase fees in addition to the joint budget committee, and both looked really hard at the justification, rationale, and amount of fee increases, and approved a fee increase on our hourly rate charges from $50 to $75 an hour, and a flat rate of about 25% to everything else. We rounded a little bit to make the numbers make a little more sense, rather than have down into the 10 cents and 12 cents type of registration fees. And so the overall result, when you take our fees increases, is an overall rate increase of 28%. Now, we have since seen the final budget bill. We are moving forward with our recommendation, and like I mentioned, that will be an effective date of 7/31 of 2025. I put in a pie chart here just to kind of give everybody an idea of where our fees come from. If you look over the big blue piece of the pie is the construction inspection fees. Those are 34.1% of our annual revenue. And the insignias for those units coming into the state or being built in the state are about 32.4%. The next biggest piece of the pie is the yellow piece of the pie, which is plan reviews that we do at 15 cents per square foot. And that's about 80% of our plan reviews that we do. And factory registration then is only about 4.6% of our annual revenue. I also threw an org chart in here just to let everybody know, and I shared this with the Technical Advisory Committee also. We are looking, Donnie, I mentioned, is the program manager. Senate Bill 25002 will have have a term limited project manager that will be separately funded, and that may be a dotted line over to Donnie and a dashed line up above. And then our plan reviewers. Right now we have Greg is our senior plans examiner, and we have a vacant position here in the green for the plans examiner that we're going to be hiring a new one effective July 1st. And then we have a couple other vacancies that we have marked do not hire, simply because we are very concerned about cash flow. We are still trying to meet our target dates for 10 days for residential, 20 days for commercial plan reviews. We do have a little bit of a backlog, so that's why we're looking at a couple temp aides in order to help us out with that. The middle column is the administrative column. Right now we have Yesenia and another vacancy that we're not going to fill until July 1st. Actually, that's will become vacant on June 1st. Debbie is still helping us out a little bit as this program coordinator down here in green. You can see there's some other things. Oh, and then on the far right side of this is our inspectors. Robert Brand is our lead inspector, and then we have Raul, Kurt, and Frank that travel the state and do the inspections all across the state for certification inspections, as well as the installation inspections and factory inspections if the local factories want it done. We expected, and this ties in really well with the reason that we're needing to raise fees. We expected revenue to come in from tiny homes back with HB 22-1242 that did not come through. And then with the emphasis on housing, we had a decision item to add a couple other term limited positions, and those have not come in. But so that's why these positions are marked red. Until we can get revenue from these positions, we're not hiring those red positions. So if you take out all the red ones, it's a pretty lean shop. Now, there's a lot of numbers on this, and we will post this slide deck with the information, with the recording once we get a chance. But if you take a look at the 22 to 23 column, the first column there, we had a beginning fund balance of $500,000. And then we actually made a little money that year, and we started out 23-24 with $764,000. But if you look at that in that column, that negative there of $511,000, that's where we really started changing the cash flow versus the revenue versus expense column. And so those expenses took down our reserves about to $253,000, which is the FY 24-25 column. But with that same burn rate of expenses, even with watching expenses very, very closely, we are going to end up in the red this year about $320,000. And we're working closely with the Office of Personnel and State Budget, as well as the governor's office, to try to remedy that for this year. So basically, we're going to start the hole in the red a little bit in 25 and 26. We're going to see a fee increase in total revenue if this fee increase passes, and it still may not be quite enough for 26 and 27. So there may be a need, and I don't want to overpromise, there may be a need for another fee increase in 26, 27. We're hoping that the number of plan reviews, with everything going on in the housing industry and the actual units coming into the state, go up. It declined a little bit in the 24 and 25 year. Basically, to give you a comparison, we're down about 15% in revenue for the first 10 months of this fiscal year compared to the 10 months of the previous fiscal year. So overall, again, we're recommending an approximate 28% fee increase starting on August 1st. We have not had a comprehensive fee increase since at least 2019. We've tweaked fees here and there. There are a couple of fees that are set in statute that we cannot change. And that's the registered seller fees as well as the installer registration fees. Those are not changing. And again, that we have coordinated these fees starting in December and January, and then into the budget process with the long bill. And then that last bullet is, like I mentioned, we do have a potential fee increase for the following year too. We just don't know what that looks like yet until we finish up the first half or so of next fiscal year. How do we do fee increases? It's a pretty long process. Our fees are part of our administrative rules. Our administrative rules are recommended by the Technical Advisory Committee, which is a 15-person group made up of building officials, manufacturers. DOLA has a plumbing and an electrical position on that. We also have architecture and structural engineering and energy on that Technical Advisory Committee. And that's going to change some with Senate Bill 25002. It'll jump up to a 19-person Technical Advisory Committee. And we will have another stakeholder meeting as Senate Bill 25002 was just signed last week. As we start the implementation of that, we'll have another stakeholder meeting to talk about that in detail. Michelle is making a couple posts in the chat for you guys to take a look at. You can see both the current administrative rules and that first link that she posted, the proposed administrative rules that were just published in the Colorado Register on the 10th. So that has, it's the entire rule set, which is a fairly long document, but if you scroll down that into the Rule 3, you will see the red line version of the proposed rules. Again, they're about 28% across the board. And then, of course, the link to that register. And then, since we did brief the Technical Advisory Committee on April 19th, we've also added a link to that meeting, and it is up on our website on our Technical Advisory Committee page. Thank you, Michelle. And that's really all I have for a presentation. I think what I want to do now is there any questions on the presentation itself, or do we just want to open up to general discussion and questions? All right, I'm going to stop sharing my slide deck, and then what I will jump to is I want to jump to the actual administrative rules and kind of show you what that Rule 3 looks like. I want to make it a little bit bigger. Can everybody see this one? Yes, no? Okay. So the registration fees are for manufacturers are going to jump from 600 to 773. We're still going to offer the 3-year manufacturer registration. The inspection agencies are going to go from 250 to 322. Late re-registration fee is going to go up from 100 to 125. Plan checking fees for finished space will go up from 25 cents to 32. The unfinished space will go from 10 cents a square foot to 13 cents a square foot, as will the supplemental plan check fee. And the second resubmittal plan check fee, there will be $127 charge on that. And then the revision fee is $75 an hour. We're going to also put the Third-party oversight plan check fee, including audits, is going to go from 15 cents a square foot to 19 cents per square foot. And then insignia fees are going to jump to from 125 to 161. We're clarified some language too in our fees as far as multi-box fees and multifamily installation fees, the per box fees in there. Then we also added an installation authorization fee of $25. And then we have not red tagged anything since I've been here, but we bumped that fee up too. And then the cancellation fee for same day would be full fee. And that's it. So that is the new fee schedule that we're proposing. The next step on this will be that there will be a public hearing on these fees on June 10th, as listed in the Colorado Register, which you have a link for. Written comments can be submitted to me by the close of business on the 26th, I think, of May, or the Friday before that. Let me take a look at my calendar. I think it's close of business on the 23rd of May. Written comments can be submitted to me, and then again, that state housing board will meet on June 10th at 1 p.m. and that will be a publicly noticed meeting, and we'll make sure that we get that information out on our website to everybody. All right. That's all I have to say. I do appreciate you all coming. Are there any questions that I can answer about the fee increase, the process that we've been through, the reason for the fee increases, or any of that? Raise your hand. I think you can come off mute if you need to, or put something in the chat.
Can you share the file in the chat on the proposed dollar amount increases? I don't see that one in the chat.
I'm not seeing anything in the chat, Sam.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. Again, please send in any written comments on the fees if you have concerns. And otherwise, I'm going to stop the recording and let everybody get back to their day. Thank you.
Thank you.